It's 8-0, true neutral, 4-0-4-0. So they've got the upper hand recently, for sure.
Yeah, it hasn't been exactly close, and it's just going to start the way it has for the last two matches these guys have met up, and the first goal goes to true neutral.
Man, you can see Snip following behind his teammate there. He cut to the right because his teammate flips that direction, so he's thinking he's going to be able to push that ball that way, but it just stuck dead center, and they gave it up right down the middle.
If Rebel were hoping to, stun true neutral on their way into this match, they're not going to get it. In fact, they're probably stunned a little bit. Just got to reset as, Snipes coming, or Snip, excuse me, coming down, almost falling right into another true neutral player, but AJG will send it across, but nothing for him. Easy turnaround. Shad will cut it off in midfield.
Nice pressure early on from true neutral. Really just making sure that they're on time for those challenges, not giving up any free clears. But here they give up free space to Shad. Undershoots the ball, though. And a chance to break out Astromik with a fake. Razebull finds the clear. And the first chance for Rebel on the counterattack. Short-lived, but not without some merit.
And it is true neutral getting set up early. Already 3 shots on net. While right now, Rebel are just hoping for a clear and a little bit of time to watch Shad carry the ball again, but Jan able to grab that challenge, and he in particular had impressed me in Rebel's last match achieved when they were playing against Carnage. He loves his flip resets and will go for them if he has the space, but he's been hitting them pretty cleanly.
Yeah, I know, I agree with that. He had some very pretty shots, and this is a chance for Shad to win the race, and off the crossbar and in. Jan not able to close the distance in time. Close call, but not enough. Just took a nasty skip off of Astromik, and look at AJG coming off the sidewall, getting over the top of it, preventing that clear. Great pressure. Even though he didn't really make contact, it was enough to phase the defense.
Yeah, this is not going well early here for Rebel. With true neutral, if they start out this confident this early, it's going to be hard to wrest control of this game from them. But, maybe you're starting to, at least, for you and I, maybe we haven't seen those last 2 matches that true neutral had played against Rebel, but you're seeing on the pitch right now, I think their ability, the first touch always a little bit closer, and every follow-up has been clean for true neutral. They've pretty much owned the pitch in these first 2 minutes.
Well, that's the key to success a lot of the times on offense. Look at Razebull. That one's going to ping off the backboard, but the key to offense is giving yourself a lot of options, and you're right, that ball control, keeping it close is what gives you options when you're on offense. So great command indeed from true neutral as Jan, that one just pulls a little too far away, and Razebull able to steal it away.
Oh, another good challenge from Razebull, but Snip did a good job of challenging that follow-up and maybe giving Rebel a chance here in midfield. They missed that first touch, and Shad be able to prevent them moving forward for a couple of seconds. You see they're looking for an angle in, but every time they think they finally have it. Astromik forward, low touch, and Shad able to pick up the save. AJG, crucial follow-up. Snip bending it forward, and another touch continues, but Shad is there to receive.
That's not a bad idea from Jan. Even though he throws that ball offline, the fact that he was willing to get up there and try and make a different touch on the ball to take that away from the defense, if he was able to correct himself, have that second chance at that one again, I think he would hit that the direction he wanted to, towards the middle instead of the corner, and Rebel might have been able to get one on the board, as now it's just Razebull has to buy some time. Excellent job in the corner.
Ooh, a little divey, and that's going to put Snip in a bad spot. He's able to play it back out to the corner, and that's a good follow-up from Astromik. He's taken out of the play by AJG. But you do like how Rebel are starting to adjust on defense. They just need a little bit more here in the blue half. Jan trying to get it started around the corner, but it's defended by Razebull. Still, the push is going to come here from Snip and company. Jan sends another one up, and Shad bore clear. Astromik can't get a solid touch, and AJG able to ring it away from the corner. Still, a good push.
Sorry, go for it.
Yeah, you're good.
The biggest problem for Rebel right now is they run out of boost. It feels like they get true neutral in a couple of excellent positions when they're on offense. They just can't quite react to anything, but at that moment is when they're all out of boost, running back and grabbing some on their own half because the midfield's not up. So if they can really start hammering in that ability to retain midfield control, you might see true neutral buckle.
Oh, the save from Shad bailed out Razebull, who was caught on the opposite side of the net. And the defense for true neutral has to hang on for one more, because here comes Jan trying to track just cannot find the mark. He saw AJG and no chance. Snip, that's just a launch perfect for Raise Bull on the other side, but the play's gonna die here. Time running out in game one for Rebel to find the board.
Oh, Snip and Jan ran into each other. That was not a good touch off the backboard from True Neutral. There was an opening, not much of one, but unfortunately not even going to have the opportunity to try and follow that one up.
And Raise Bull had another nice cutoff as well. That happened earlier to Rebel too, where they got desperate on offense because they really felt like they deserved this goal, and Astromik will punch this one in, and they do split the lead late.
And Rebel's been hanging out on this blue side for a pretty long time after the start of this game, to be honest. They weren't really able to ever put a quality shot on net, but finally Jan gets all the way around one, punches one towards the center of the net, forces a bad clear, just drops right down in front. Astromik there to put it away, and they've got a chance here. Just under 20 seconds. What can Rebel do?
Well, Snip wants the hard rebound, but Shad immediately recognized it and grabbed it. Astromik waited and is able to push the ball back out to the opposite corner. Catch by Snip. Astromik wraps back around the ball, or here around the corner. No time left. Off the wall, down onto the ground for a True Neutral victory.
Well done, True Neutral. You hang on. You couldn't quite find a safe way out in the back half of that first game, but the early 2-0 lead is enough to get the job done. But I'm giving a little more credence to what Shumako said. I think Rebel really found the groove, even if it wasn't able to create a lot of scoring chances. Possession is the first starting block to success and putting points on the board, and Rebel found a lot of it in the back half there.
Yeah, I mean, I think Rebel's biggest problem was that they panicked in situations where they felt desperate, or either you're expecting a touch from AJG, because that was just the effect of being there is enough to give True Neutral that kind of space. But otherwise, you understand why they respected AJG, because he was challenging everything else.
Oh, man, and that last play from Jan, that was a great job getting all the way back around one. So I'm curious to see, like what you said, solidify a little bit more, start holding control of that midfield line. Things really could take a turn here in Rebel's favor. So True Neutral going to have to find a way out of their own half, make sure that they're able to bring that ball down from around out of those corners and get the ball back in their possession, because I would not want to give Rebel a second look at how game one played out.
No, not at all. And, game one started with an immediate kickoff goal. So
yeah,
maybe with that mojo off of Rebel's back, they can approach game two with some clear lenses, and we will get that started right now. We'll see if Rebel can make this happen. I certainly think they have it in them. They've shown us some good things in game one. Let's see how they build in game two. Now Snip gonna get the first catch off his own back wall. Shad, who's been annoying for Rebel to get by, is there to challenge the ball in midfield. He just seems to be all over any midfield play, whether it's cutting off a pass or continuing a touch for his team. Shad creating a lot of value in midfield. Shot again. Light touch that Snip had to save.
Nice.
Jan has to reach, and he picked up the next save. Shad, one touch, he's got two, and the goal, forced own goal. True Neutral score first.
Well, not out of the midfield, but getting it done early in the corners. You're right, Shad cutting rotation, and what a beautiful angle he gives himself. Able to hop off that wall there, get back behind the ball, and just kick it towards that backboard. That's great pressure from Shad.
Back when we saw True Neutral in the fall major, something that they fell prone to more often that they're not now is, getting caught out on defense. Third man, ball sailing behind their head. They loved being aggressive. They were amazing on offense, honestly. Raise Bull, I remember during the fall major specifically, had a lot of splash plays. But now you're seeing this more measured approach. Focus on team plays. All right, rotate out. We don't have to force every single possession, and you get the effect that you get right now. Rebel are diving for a lot of these challenges.
Oh, man.
And it's True Neutral in the driver's seat after that Shad challenge.
And you weren't kidding. That ball does not get through Shad very easily. You got to put in some work to get that ball through him, it would seem. As he's going to take a little detour back to his corner, and Snip shot right towards a couple of defenders. But here goes Rebel, and they pick up where game one left off. Nice transition out for True Neutral, a 1-2 pass play, and combine it with a demo. Maybe they've got a little something here.
Raise Bull just couldn't handle the ball around the corner, and Astromik will get a very crucial clear for Rebel. They were in a bad spot after a teammate got demoed. They lost that previous challenge, and if Raise Bull gets that touch, You're almost talking like a short goal, if you will. But Shad,
wow,
he picks up the short goal here. Nice approach, nice shot.
This was actually real tight on the ability to execute this. He was actually off stealing boost in the corner, but the ball just happened to go his way, and it's all about, do you get the proper first touch as that ball starts rolling up the wall? Shad, you can watch that one on replay for a 101 course on how to hit that shot.
He might watch that one a few times himself from how clean it was. Raise Bull. Sees Astromik. He has the read on him off the backboard, and no shot will come. Raise Bull emptied his tank for that play. Just couldn't quite find the mark, but AJG does off the pass from Shad.
AJG was actually the guy in support of that first attempt, and he jumped early, not realizing that Raise Bull had a second chance. But since he didn't commit hard to it, he's able to land back in the middle of the pitch and catch the second toss into the center to score that one. 3-0, true neutral, game 2. Crushing it.
Right when we thought Rebel might have had a chance to reset in game 2, they just haven't had any room to breathe. It's more of the same since game 1. And it's just been difficult. I know I said his name at the beginning, Shad in midfield, and then he just started creating value everywhere. 2 goals and an assist off of 4 of his own shots. He's absolutely performing here in game 2.
Oh, tough play here for AJG, and look at that clear. It's so pretty. Astromik, the only one to buy some time, but true neutral. Like we said, you needed to find a way to get out of your own half. Well, they've done it here.
Cool. Nice clear again, though, from Astromik. The follow-up game lacking from Rebel. Granted, they've been working on limited boost situations, and running away from Raise Bull is Jan on the backside, hoping he doesn't get demoed, and true neutral have a free lane to move downfield. He avoided it and got the touch out to Astromik, who sends it right back his way. Back and forth. Astromik.
Oh, wow.
Does he have another touch? No, it's going to go away. Like the idea from Rebel, but they can't actually push anything in front of the box.
Oh, does AJG have a flip reset? He does. That one is not going anywhere. Shad just pops it off the wall for any help, but Raise Bull in damage control mode, and he will give his life to buy a little extra time.
Nice little clear by Jan.
Oh, hello.
AJG's just sitting unchallenged in front of the box. Astromik got the read, but Jan's got no boost and has to figure out a way to get by Shad. Picks up the midfield, but snips. Ends up having to avoid Astromik. Ends up just giving the ball back to Astromik. And Rebel went around their entire side of the field twice before they actually got the midfield.
And they're struggling right now. Just all fighting for boost, I think, is part of the problem. Astromik, chance to put one in the top right, couldn't get around it. Second opportunity, dropped in front, no problem for Raise Bull here. And he will lift that one past the midfield line. And under a minute, it would be quite a comeback for Rebel. But this game, too, was everything you wanted to see out of true neutral in terms of how do you adjust. And Rebel, ball's back in your court. You got to find something else to do.
I think the one plus you can give Rebel is that they started in a very similar fashion in their last game today, and then it didn't start until game 3 that they really found their stride. So maybe there's something about the early game that, you know, Rebel just needs some lead-up time. True neutral came out the gate swinging, and sometimes that can be hard to adjust to, even between a game or two. We've certainly seen teams get shocked like that, and it's not really it's not the rarest thing to happen. But true neutral have just played an excellent game on both halves of the pitch so far in the first half of this best of 7.
Yeah, this one really was a, you know, I don't want to say textbook, because it wasn't all, you know, just make sure you've got boost and you'll be fine if you're true neutral. They really did have to execute on some tough shots to come out on front here, but it was about as sound fundamentally as you could ask outside of the positions where they needed to execute a tough shot. So
I think that's textbook. You know, solid fundamentals, good passing.
Yeah.
Good boost management, good rotations.
The core really being the ability to not get jammed in your own half. You know, it's that nice ability to clear the ball up the pitch and make sure you can follow it up. That's always the hardest part. It's easy to boom the ball. It's no problem doing that. It's making sure it doesn't come back at you that's the hard part. And True Neutral did that excellently this game. And you said so yourself. It's because Shad, that guy, did not let anything through, and he was hitting some pretty ones in game 2.
Yeah, he absolutely was. AJG is also a threat. He loves going downfield and just being an option for his team to go to, and he was consistently a valuable option, and he created a lot of value off of his touches as well. So true neutral getting a lot done. For the opposite, though, for Rebel Achieves, I actually think they are lacking exactly what true neutral are excelling at, and that's that follow-up on defense. It seems like they're comfortable with one guy going for the clear and trying to push towards midfield, and then second and third man will come back up. But second man is never really in a spot to follow up a quick first man touch. And true neutral, I mean, when you give him that much time, that's how Shad was able to roll on both halves of the orange pitch and pick up those goals and assists. So maybe he gets another one, but Snip and Astromik both get credit for saves here.
He was sitting there thinking, stop talking about my opponents and let's hear the call on this one.
There's not enough Shad going around here. How many Shad? He's going for maximum Shad mentions. Get the catch here. Jan pushing it back to the corner. Nice challenge by Razebull. Not enough just for that first touch. The second one to really force Rebel to have to work for their food, and Shad might make him work a little harder. He gets to touch the Razebull, but it's way high above the backboard.
Got to be careful here if you're true neutral. They really did send everyone for that one, but thankfully Rebel needed an extra moment to grab boost as well, so it kind of delayed that counterattack and gave him time to get set here. That's a good pass into the middle, though, and Shad probably going to be one-on-one here with Jan, and AJG close behind.
Oh, good patience from Jan. Able to throw the ball back downfield. He actually gets a free lane down the side. We'll see if Astromik can create anything out of this. 27 boost, tried to feather. And AJG will be all over that. You won't be able to play slow like that unless you can really force true neutral to feel the drain on the boost. Another hard clear. Good grab by Jan in midfield, but that's not enough. They need a better follow-up. Astromik.
Oh, wow.
Good 2 solid touches to get the clear, but every clear is met by a shot, and Razebull collects for the first goal.
Excellent job here from Razebull, really just biding his time to see where this ball went out, and it just skipped back across the middle. Snip does a great job. He covers a lot of that shooting angle from Razebull. He gets right up in his face, and the only option is all the way to that right side for Razebull, and he just had to execute the shot there and hope the defense wasn't ready for it, and he was right.
So the question for Rebel is, how do you really break through this rotation? Is it demos? Is it, do you just play safe? Do you kind of, go for the challenge but focus on controlling the boost? Since you haven't really been able to control the ball, true neutral have played this very fast. We'll challenge in front. Razebull isn't afraid to just chase the ball down into the corner and force Jan to have to use way more than he wants to move the ball downfield.
I think the best answer to that one is the boost game. It's all about your management there. You can't afford to be wasteful, and you can't afford to miss boost, because you can see Shad just driving around the corner, stealing boost right there, and that leaves, not a lot to work with. Because, sure, they're going to get this follow-up here, but as soon as this challenge happens, nothing has had time to respawn, and they've used at least half a tank on all 3 players, and then they have to find that long clear, and then they can't make it back to that midfield boost to try and hold a boost advantage, or at least keep it equal. True neutral are just the ones dominating the boost game, and that's what's making it so difficult for Rebel to come out in front in a lot of these scenarios, because they just don't have enough in the tank. You see Snip right there. He just missed the boost in the midfield with AJG, and now he's got to play off the backboard and this real awkward spot with nothing and hope that they can hang on to boost and play a ball into a different area to make something happen.
And Jan took a shot there. Astro has been rolling around, taking a lot of boost off of true neutral table, but still 2 players were over 70 by the time this push happened from Razebull, and it's a light flip reset, but he gets the ball again. AJG shot off the post. Where's the follow-up? There it is. Shad collects again. 2-0 for true neutral.
What is this first block from Razebull? He's got no boost. He's just free-falling, and it pings right back into his car and throws it back into the mix. Another one off the post. And of course, Shad gonna come through and make sure that that one gets tucked safely into the top right-hand corner. 2-0 true neutral.
Rebel just 2 steps behind every time they try to push against true neutral. They have about 3 ways that they can beat them to the ball. Just when Rebel finally find an advantage in one aspect, it's Shad who just punches another one in off of the miss on the back wall.
And now this is a tough one, to be fair. I mean, Snip is following this one, real small, margin of error on that touch. There's no right or wrong way to assess how you should go and get that, because you don't want to let it bounce because you're the last man, but it's so high up on the wall that the chance of success is so small. And, you know, Snip tried to make the play that needed to be made, and he just couldn't get up to it.
I feel like, though, that's how True Neutral have been beating Rebel is, you know, Rebel are just not in the right spot. How many times have we seen that hard kick, that hard clear from True Neutral to take advantage of Rebel's position? Like, they've had to dive back like that so many times. So while it is, while it's really tough for Snip to get that save or that touch, this has just been a culmination of what's been the problem for the entire match for Rebel.
Yeah, and that goes all the way back to the point about you got to make sure you have have the boost in the tank, because if you have the boost, you know, you're not going to be straining in any particular position. You can afford to be slightly more aggressive with your positioning farther forward, you know, or you have the resources if you're sitting back that you can get all the way up to that ball, and it's not going to be a problem. And when you're low on boost, that's when you start having to take risks and not being able to recover in the ways you need to. So that's the big thing you need to see change. As look at Ray's Bull. You got to watch this one again.
Yeah, Ray's Bull gets solid first touch, great follow, and a perfect jump off the landing. Everything had to be perfect.
In the tank. As soon as he won that first challenge, he had 49 boosts left and spent all of it boosting back down to the ground as fast as possible to get back up to that to beat the last man.
And Jan, his shot taken away. Jan, his only choice when he saw Ray's Bull just boosting down to the ground, he's like, I got to get to that ball. He had just picked up that corner boost, and he's certainly not going to be the next one to miss the rebound. Yeah,
you have to make a risk, see if you can win a ball there and force someone to be out of position for True Neutral. It's the right play to go and challenge Ray's Bull. It's credit to Ray's Bull for making the proper approach and recovery effort to beat that last man and stop that pressure from getting built up.
Now, Shad, this is just a victory lap. Ray's Bull says, haven't you had enough?
None of that,
man.
Bam.
I want to score some goals eventually. Come on. True Neutral, it's looking like a third 4-0 against Rebel right now. Rebel have not had any success on offense. They've scored 1 goal in 3 games so far, and it just hasn't been close.
Control, control, control. That really is the name of the game, you know, and it's not necessarily with just the ball. It's across the pitch. And, you know, we spent that whole game harping on, you got to hit the boost. You can't be out of boost. You can't be out of position. And that's exactly what's happening. That's all it boils down to. Just make sure you're not giving away boost and your pathing is correct over the small pads. And I think Rebel will be in a better position to at least contend against True Neutral here, because it really just does come down to not having the ability to execute in some scenarios.
And you see it on Rebel, you start seeing it in the car language, because when you're starved for boost for so long, when you finally do grab a canister, well, you see Astromik, he started jumping at everything as soon as he got boost, because he had just been on the ground for so long, but it wasn't his time to go. He was jumping at the same ball that his teammates were at, and while it might not have immediately translated to a goal, it does kill potential for a real push on offense. So when you feel that desperation and you feel like you're constantly having to play catch up, that's the situation you find yourself in. That's when your mental resilience is truly tested. And I don't know how Rebel can get back into this match besides that, you know, securing that boost achieves. If they can't do that, then there is no hope here against True Neutral in Game 4.
They are cruising. And of course, it helps when you get Astromik making a couple of challenges like that with a demo. Oh, look at HAG. He took Snip out of the sky, and that is still going to get pinged away. Jan had a chance to squeeze that one in, but couldn't quite finish the job.
Mid-air demos are starting to become some of my favorite. Now, mid-air demos for a guy that's not even on the ball, I need more of that.
That's next level.
Absolutely. You got to find more and more ways to be creative and find ways to open up space, because as speed goes up, space goes down, and it's hard to find any of it on the pitch these days.
That's the truth, especially if you're a Rebel. Look at HAG just changing pace right there to freeze the defense and see if they can turn anything in.
Jan was just kind of waiting there and then didn't expect AJG to just push that forward. Just got a demo on top of it. Jan left scrambled in the air.
Wow.
And Raise Bull sends them full tilt. First goal, true neutral.
Raise Bull did not expect a demo from AJG there. Jan was totally prepared to go up and block Raise Bull's shot. But Raise Bull pulled off because he thought the defense was going to get that clear. And Raise Bull pulling off meant that the challenge missed. So Raise Bull got to turn back around and come through for a second look, and he drilled it.
Again, Rebel. They're getting into their own heads. You see Raise Bull behind the ball, you think, oh, he's been so fast to it every time I have to jump now. And he hasn't even left the ground yet. That shows you. Yeah.
It's one small decision, you know? You think something else is going to happen, and it goes the exact opposite way. And then in an instant, you're in a poor position, and this is money. Look at this pass from AJG straight to Shad.
Ah, perfect. Right on the nose. Shad follows it perfectly. Hits right in the gap. Every time. True Neutral they've clipped apart this defense of Rebel. There hasn't been much defense for Rebel. They've really been on the back wheels, for lack of a better analogy. True Neutral just scoring so many goals. Like, not just Shad. Obviously, Shad's been behind a lot of the strikes. But you said it, AJG's pass, Raise Bull in between all of it. This is a really good look for True Neutral for the rest of the major.
Now, that's a great challenge from Jan. You get to have a chance to really put True Neutral on the defensive, and it might just work. Oh. Snip is just a little too far away.
And that one really hurts, too, because in a whole match where you haven't had that follow-up guy in the right spot, right there, you had him in the area you wanted him to be, but you were still a step too slow. And when push comes to shove, if Jan can get that redirect, Astromik can't get it down, but he keeps the last defender from getting down, and a miss! Raise Bull gets away! He got away from Astromik, and the whiff allowed him to take the ball out.
And they even had the block on the goalie in the net. They couldn't get up and jump. It was just hit the ball, and they couldn't make contact. Oh, that's brutal for Rebel.
Oh, and they're scrambling here, hoping for a continuing clear on defense. Shad just completely blocks out Astromik. Yeah. Oh, and Raise Bull just shoves it away from him. They can't buy a challenge right now.
It's
Look at
all
this.
just
He nails that. Oh.
Well, they might get a follow-up. Yep. You're right, though. I mean, it's just all the little things going just wrong enough for Rebel. Combine that with a little bit of perfect placement from Shad. Make sure that one sneaks around some defenders, and you got a recipe for 4-0. 2 minutes left, 3-0 for True Neutral, who has not let up since the end of game one. Wow.
This is nice stuff from Raise Bull. I love it. If they give you space, make them pay for it. Make them hurt. Humiliate them. Look at that.
Wave dash? Did he wave dash when he landed for a little bit of extra speed?
Like
I would have to watch that one again.
Yeah.
Either way,
got slow-mo it on the replay.
Faked out the defender, and then a nice strong shot right at the center of mass of the opposite car and uses the momentum against him. Oh, you're right. That's pretty.
True Neutral doing a couple of victory laps right now on Rebel. They've not left the orange half often, but they have shot efficiently and accurately. 7 shots, 4 goals.
He was trying to bump Jan. Raise Bull was trying to bump Jan.
You can get away with anything now. They're living rent-free in Rebel's heads, Achieves.
We were talking about this region, you know, off camera beforehand, and you and I both were in agreement. This is our favorite region to watch because they will go for things that will never enter your mind.
It's amazing.
And just watching them try to execute is so much fun because you can understand the idea behind it, and if it works out, which sometimes it does, it's absolutely incredible. Some of the things that these guys can pull off. It is phenomenal.
It's why I think the sentiment overall is South America is becoming an exciting reason to watch because of that. It's exciting just to watch players go for crazy stuff. And even if they don't
creativity.
Exactly. Why not go for it? They're not expecting it. If we miss it, well, at least we tried. And that's what I think is so endearing and awesome to watch about South America in general. But True Neutral are kind of like, They used to be more, I'll say more extremely that way, not even a year ago. But this is a much more measured and very team-oriented approach that they've taken to the game now. They look so different than they did even than a couple months ago. I'm impressed.
What's the favorite term? Controlled chaos?
Controlled chaos. Oh, what? Raise bull.
You look great, buddy. That was perfect.
It could have been great. Just keep boosting. Your car's upside down. You can press whatever button to flip. Wow. Nope, no goal. Rebel have been shut out in 3 out of the 4 games. If they get one here, they won't. True neutral, only allowing 1 goal in 4 games. It was easy.
It was. After, you know, that last 2.5 minutes of that game 1, you're starting to worry. You're like, oh boy, Rebel really started to put true neutral to the fire there. And then, you know, they just walked over and dumped 4 buckets of ice cold water on him and said, nope, you get nothing. Absolutely nothing. The remainder of this series. I mean, Rebel, they couldn't do anything.
No, they got shut down.
It was, you're right. It was shut down, crushed. I mean, Razebull, Shad, AJG, all of them just ran rampant across the pitch for 15 minutes straight, and they looked good doing it.
True neutral looking tougher and tougher as the tournament goes on. Will they make it to the end? And will they be the champions of South America? Well, we have a lot more Rocket League to go before we get there. So get up, take a break, get a snack. We'll be back after the break.